All right, today is Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Let's take a look at the price action on the NASDAQ this morning. As you can see, I have all the charts zoomed out already and got a nice strong uptrend in the morning and not too much after that. Um, yeah, I mean, on the S&P, we trended to the upside from market open until about a little after 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Probably similar situation for all the markets. Market open to, yeah, kind of about the same. NASDAQ kind of trudged along to the upside, bounced back and forth between buy and sell signals, but kind of was just trending to the upside the whole time. So let's zoom in and see the trades that AbleTrend gave us today and what we were able to capture on this uptrend right here. So right at market open, right here, 6:30 Pacific time, you got a buy signal. Got a buy signal. The print right before that one. Um, but as you can see, not a huge trend. The market was pretty flat coming into the open, but there was definitely a sell signal, full confirmation, 1, 2, and 3 leading up to the open. So we had to break above that 3-minute resistance, and we did. I sat on my hands at market open. I mean, the entry bar was likely the first print of the day. It's just a risky trade to take, risky signal to take. First print of the day. But I think a good entry would have been right here, maybe at the 6:32 bar, so 2 minutes in the open. Kind of got this first buy signal, got this second bar that kind of went up, but it kind of held that area, and then potentially be in at 32 and ride that up. But with that said, as you can see, it did whipsaw right back, and you would have taken heat, and so yeah, I mean, thankfully support held, and we just kind of collected in this area before continuing to the upside. I got in right here at a sweet spot. Pulled back to 1-minute support. Never touched, almost touched 2-minute support, but really gathered at 1-minute support. We got a blue bar here, so I was looking for the oscillator to turn blue as well to get me that confirmation. We got that. Got that here, but I didn't want to get in on a green bar, so I was waiting for a blue bar, blue oscillator before I pulled the trigger, and that happened right here at the 164 range, and we just kind of carried on to the upside. You know, it's always interesting going long versus going short, especially the last couple days, the last couple weeks. There's been some aggressive moves to the downside that happen very quickly. You can have 50-point profit within a couple minutes. When we're grinding our way back to the upside, it's typically not the case. We're gonna kind of slow grind upwards, and that's exactly what we did here. We did rip off of this entry right here at 64. That first bar got us to almost a high of 90. So almost 30 points, definitely about 25 points or so in that first bar. We kind of gathered ourselves in that area before moving towards the upside some more. 2 green bar exit would have been in this area. So at 203, should have been at 201, never hit it. Next 2 green bar exit would have been right here. Let's call it maybe at 20 or so. Not exact, but that makes the math easy. So 2 green bar exit at 220. We're in at 64. So that's about, what is that? We're looking at about 60, a little less than 60 points for the first trade of the day. And we were in that trade for, let's see, 45 until 7:05. So about 20 minutes. What I just want to touch on this real quick. So I have the 15-minute chart up here. And what I loved about that entry was that sweet spot print, perfect signal on this smaller time frame chart. But on top of that, we got a sweet spot print on the 15-minute at the exact same time. And I think that's what caused us to rip higher right here We pulled back, tested 15-minute support, came up, and then we got a blue bar, and that printed at 6:45, same time that this sweet spot on the smaller, or I should say lower time frame, printed. So just ideal signal. I mean, that is ideal to jump in there, and didn't really take any heat against us in that one. I decided to sit on my hands the rest of the day. I didn't take any additional trades. There were some additional trades. Another sweet spot right in this area. We've been long right here at 43. Got to a high of 67 or so. You probably would have stayed in. Yeah, you would have. I mean, wouldn't have gotten much out of that. Potentially a small loss unless you locked something in on sweet spots, especially if I've already captured a good portion of the trend. I'm going to lock in profit when I get it. I'm not going to let something come against me, and perhaps I might miss out on a longer trend, more profit potential. But I'm just not going to take a loss after I've just captured a good portion of that trend. So that's the way I like to handle sweet spots. I typically at least lock in 5 points, but regardless, I sat out on that one. Pulled back, got a small little sell signal. I mean, that's not even barely a sell signal. It printed for, what is that, 7 minutes or so before we got this long bar print. We've been long at 277. Took maybe 7 points of heat or so before continuing to the upside. Got to a high of 304. So in at 277, high of 304. Maybe could have locked in with the 2 green bar exit right there. It was barely 10 points. AbleTrend recommends having at least 10 points of profit. Again, you have that long initial trend. You have this long bar for the buy signal. You got, sometimes there's a little bit of an art form that comes into trading. You do have to be mechanical and disciplined, follow the chart. But some of these you got to take into account some of these other factors. Long bar already had a nice long trend. Let's lock in, 10 points, which you had right here. Let's lock that in. And then, if it does come back and take you out there, then it comes back and takes you out there. So be it. But if you followed the guidelines, probably would have been about a break-even trade. Moving along, kind of trudged along. Got a buy signal there, that would have been a loss. Another buy signal here, that also would have been a loss. And that was kind of about the end of my trading time frame. But anytime I get a nice, steady trend to the upside like this, I start to get a little more hesitant on the additional buy signals that come. This one I for sure would have gone in. I just, I had a good profit for the first trade of the day. I decided to not overtrade today, just kind of sit on my hands and watch the remainder of the day. This one I would have been in, but as we get into this third, fourth buy signal, and never breaking any of the 2 or 3 minute support, I'm just a lot more hesitant. We can only continue to go up for so long, and so that's my thought on those. But anyways, that was the price action for the Nasdaq on this morning, Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. Nice strong uptrend, kind of recovering from the selling we've had in recent weeks.